Shalom Aleichem, Assalamu Alaikum. Welcome to Fourth Book of the Kingdoms. We're starting a new book today. And chapter 1 contains 18 verses. So let's get to the differences between the two translations, the Septuagint and the Masoretic text. Okay, so first of all, I need to get my hard copy. Let me do that. So this is known as the book of 2 Kings in the Masoretic text. In most translations, it is counted as the second book of Kings. However, in the Septuagint, it is actually the fourth book of the Kingdoms. So again, looking at verse 1, I have to confirm whether this is a typo in qbible.com or if this is a typo at all. So it says rebelled. Okay, so it's not repelled, it's rebelled. Moab rebelled. So that is a typo on the part of Q Bible. So no difference there. And we're gonna ignore verse 2. We're going to ignore most of verse 3. We're gonna look at the omission in verse 3 towards the latter end. It says, but not so. So the complete statement is, because there is no Elohim in Israel, you go to inquire of this name, the Elohim of Ekron, but not so. Okay, this seems to be a repeat of the last chapter. Did I cover this already? No, this is not a repeat. This is because I recently reviewed this, so it feels like I'm reading it twice. So he's saying, but not so. So that was omitted. Verse 4, it says here, an omission of, and Elijah said to them. Okay, so let's read the whole verse just to get the context. For thus saith Hashem, the bed on which thou art gone up, thou shalt not come down from it, for thou shalt surely die. And Elijah went and said so to them. So that part, and Elijah said to them, was not included, which means he did, in fact, communicated, he delivered the message that he was supposed to deliver. We have no inkling that he actually delivered the message. You shall not come down. Okay, so Elijah departed, but he did not repeat that statement in this verse anyway. Okay, moving on to verse 6, there's an omission of not so. Not so. Okay, let's look for not so. Here it is. Again, it's repeating again in verse 6. Not so. So that is a repeat from verse 3, isn't it? Verse 7, is this a typo? It says mid, who went up to mid you. Now, we have a term in modern 2024, they say mid to mean like mediocre, I believe. But is that what it means? Does it mean mid? But if I read the hard copy, it says to meet you. Okay, so that is a typo as well. It is a typo in the Q Bible. It is meet. So we're going to ignore that as well. There's no error in the hard copy. Verse 9 refers to the place as the top of a mountain where Elijah was sitting versus the top of a hill. So a mountain and a hill are two very different things. Mountain is larger. We think of Mount Sinai, Mount Zion, and so on. Mount Horeb. It's not simply a hill. Okay, moving ahead to verse 16. So everything is pretty consistent from 10 to 15. But in verse 16, we see here, Elijah spoke to him and said, thus saith Hashem, why hast thou sent messengers to inquire of this name, the Elohim of Ekron. It shall not be so. Meaning, this shall not be done. It should not be so. In other words, you did this because there is no Elohim in Israel? Okay, so that's how I would understand that in the Septuagint. In the Masoretic, it reads as such, "For as much as thou hast sent messengers to inquire of this name, the Elohim of Ekron, is it not because there is no Elohim in Israel to inquire of his word?" So he's not saying this factually. Elijah is saying this, or I should say Hashem is saying this through Elijah, as a rhetorical question. Meaning, is there not an Elohim in Israel? Am I not the Elohim of Israel? So this is a rhetorical question, or a reminder, perhaps, not so much a factual statement being made. In verse 18, we read here, and Joram, son of Ahab, this is towards the end. Actually, it's right here. And Joram, son of Ahab, reigns over Israel and Samaria 12 years, beginning in the 18th year of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, versus Jehoram, in verse 17, Jehoram reigned in the second year of Jehoram. I should say Jehoram reigned in his stead in the second year of Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah. So Jehoram reigned in the second year of Jehoram. Okay, it doesn't seem to make sense, but let me try to make sense of it. This was the second year of Ahaziah. So it was after Ahaziah had completed 1 year. So this was technically his second year. And there's an omission of the following. And he, I think this is verse 18. Yeah, verse 18. It says, and he did that which was evil. Okay, can't find it in the text right now. Here it is. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Hashem, only not as his brethren, nor as his mother. And he removed the pillars of this name, which his father made, and broke them in pieces. Only he was joined to the sins of the house of Jeroboam, who led Israel to sin. He departed not from them. And Hashem was very angry with the house of Ahab. So he was very angry. That is a fact. But this section I just read was not even included in the Masoretic text. So that's all for this video and this chapter. Thank you very much for your time. Till next time, we'll look at the following chapter, chapter 2 of 2 Kings, or 4th book of the Kingdoms. And I hope to be more consistent than I've been in the last while. So thank you very much for your patience with me. Thank you again for your time. And until next time, I bid you all, I was going to say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shalom aleichem. Irini mazisu. Pax vobiscum. Peace be unto you. And Maranatha.